Welcome back to Watch Talk. Today I'll be talking about a Casio. Now, Casio is a really interesting story to me because I'm more into the heritage and the history of a brand. I'm not really an electronic guy. I don't like the Apple Watches. I'm not into that. I don't think there's any thought into that or heritage or history. I just think it's made in China and there's not too much to that. But this is an electronic watch. And I think this is really special because you're paying between $40 to $50, and we'll take a look at what you get. And what you get is unbeatable, in my opinion. There is no other watch in the world at this price range that gives you this much information and this much complications. Now, if you're a guy who doesn't like the electronics and the ticking, you like a face and you like the hands moving, this might not be the watch for you. But if you don't mind that and you want to throw on a watch to go exercise, you want to go on a hike, you want to go for a swim, hey, if you want to go to the freezing tundra, you could do that with this watch. Jump off a building. I don't recommend jumping off a building, but if you wanted to for a stunt or something, you could wear this watch. Now, this watch is so versatile. There's so many occasions. I've seen people wear suits with it. But I don't recommend it. I think this watch is a great beater watch. I don't use that phrase because on most watches that they call beaters, you're paying over $200-300 on a watch that I'm spending a lot of money on. Do I really want to go out, beat it, scratch up the stainless steel or scratch up the band? No. But this watch, I feel fine wearing it anywhere. I don't care if it drops on the floor. I don't care if it drops off a 3-story building. It works and it still keeps ticking. Let's flip the camera and take a look at what we're talking about. Now turning ourselves around, the first thing you might notice at the face of the watch doesn't sit on its back. It cannot sit here because of the integrated bracelet protects it. If it's falling, it lands on there first. So that's a very nice feature. And it also helps with the shock resistance on this watch. You will also notice the date complication. The time displayed, you can choose PM or military time. You could also have our hourly chime or alarm on as also. The mode is the time, then there's the alarm, timer, and stopwatch. You will also notice that there is text all around. This looks very similar to the very first G-Shock, as I'll plop up a picture right here. And it virtually has not changed. Now, looking towards the case back has Casio. The module in it is 3229 DW-5600, and it's stainless steel back. It says made in Taiwan, where this one was made. And it has 20 bar, which is 200 meters. And it also is displaying the shock resistance. Now, if you notice when we flip through the different modes, the time is always displayed on timer and on stopwatch. Now, I know on the higher end G-Shocks, the module does not have that, and you just have stopwatch or the timer. So that's very nice feature. Now, the beeps you cannot get rid of. They're always going to make that clicking sound. So if you don't like that, then you can go. There's other G-Shocks that do, but not in this price range. This is the starter price. And the band, you can also get an integrator and have it on a NATO, but I recommend for the beginner ones, just leave it on the regular original strap. Or if you do really want one, you can go on and buy a combo. It's very simple. You just replace it. These are screw-on, so you unscrew it, and it comes pretty easily. Now, when we're talking about the battery on these, it's 2 to 3 years I've seen, but sometimes they last less, sometimes they last more. And it also problem I've heard is it eats batteries once you pop them in, but it all depends on your G-Shock and how it performs. The accuracy is 15 seconds a month, which is not bad. Most watches aren't that good, but this is also quartz when you're thinking, but 15 seconds a month is very doable. It's very nice. We're talking an alarm or in any mode. When editing, you have to hold the recessed adjust button until it starts beeping like so. and then you go into mode to change it from hours, and then change it to the minutes, which say I want it 8:30, I go here 8:30. And then the also nice thing about this watch is when you're done and you go back, you go straight back to the time. So you don't have to flip through all the modes to get back to the time. Also, another cool feature on this watch is that in alarm, you can change it if you wanted to. Say you want it January 1st, that one time a year that alarm goes off. Now, I know most people won't use that. If they have an alarm, they use it for the week. So that's just an extra feature if you want to get up extra early on one day. Also, if you hit mode during this, you could turn the alarm or the hourly chime. I just like leaving the hourly chime on. I think it's fantastic because it also allows you to hear, say you're working on something over time, ding dong, another hour goes by, it beeps. So that's very nice feature, and I appreciate that they put that on this watch. Now let's get a wrist shot. I think this can go from 6.5 inches all the way up to say 8 inches wrist, because this is so versatile. It is the smallest G-Shock they make, unless you're talking about the mini Gs, but I'm talking about regular G-Shocks. And I also did notice when I'm wearing this more often that the 15 seconds a month, it slows the battery down because these typically run faster. So when you're wearing it, the back of the case gets a little hotter, and then the battery slows down. So you're gonna get a lot more accurate the more you wear it during the month, I've noticed. Now, after taking a look at my Casio G-Shock DW-5600, let's talk about where it all began. So Casio originally is a technology company, and they weren't huge on watches back then, but a designer, Mikiku Ibe, I'll show a picture right here, and he was a genius because he came up with this. But the reason he came up with this is he had an old watch from his father. It was passed down to him as a mechanical watch, and it was very fragile, and he dropped it and it broke, and he was very, very upset, and he wouldn't let this go. So he went back to Casio, and he had thousands and thousands of designs, but he came up with this magnificent watch, and he designed it to be shock resistant. He didn't design it for, I don't think, fashion reasons. It was meant to be a beater watch, and that's what it was designed for. But coincidentally, that the old original G-Shock is a classic design. They carried it through for 30, 40 years now, and it just amazes me, and I love it. And just looking at the watch, owning it, you have a little piece of the 80s with you. You know, it's always fun to have a little bit of that. And it just brings me joy because you can get joy from a watch that you only spend a few dollars on. If you own a G-Shock, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because there's many more videos coming your way. And I will throw in a luminescence shot, and I'll plop in a little bit of the commercial from G-Shock with the hockey because it always brings a smile on my face when I watch that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Here's the electroluminescence shot. If you hold it down, it stays, and if you just click it and let go, it will stay for a few seconds.